securing. Open up.
Up on the hill.
Shit. It's up there and we're down here.
What am I to do?
We need to walk just a little more. One foot in front of the other.
See if that stays. The feet hurt.
But you'll be in a big, cozy bed soon enough.
You have everything you want for supper. All the
Shouldn't have wished to live more interesting times.
What in the hells was that? Felt like an earthquake, as if I didn't have problems enough already.
Can't afford to stay idle.
I just lost a wager, thanks to you.
Who are you?
Someone who bet that you'd never be foolish enough to actually show your face in this city again. But here you are. And the gold in my purse is soon to take flight. There have been whispers about you, sister. About your faith, your loyalty, your company. I can't help but feel the strangest twinge of disgust as I look upon you. Is it true? Has Our Lady forsaken you?
Of course not. A cover to throw our enemies off the scent. I suppose you weren't deemed important enough to be informed of the plan.
That would have been fine deception in most cases. But your lying tongue cannot mask the empty pit in your spirit. She truly has abandoned you. Now I must report your reappearance. If you are intent on bringing matters to a head, then seek out the House of Grief in the lower city. Though, if I was you, I'd be very tempted to just forget it all and disappear. You have some form at doing so, after all.
Looking ahead.
Attention fists. Listen up.
That's why we need to walk.
I'm busy.
I know, little one, but you'll be in a big, cozy bed soon enough.
You have anything you want for supper. All the treats your tummy can handle.
Oh, gods! Are they gonna see it? What happens if they don't see it? Fetch! Oh, gods, no! No, no! No, that just won't do! Look, I know you're not gonna see it, so you might as well be on your way. Amma! Oh, goodness! You said it! Wondrous day! I am a good dog! You can come back! I like you! Oh, here we go! Here it comes! Yes, yes, yes! Amazing! Perfect! No notes!
No, I'm afraid I must insist you do not pet the hound.
My love, you can't keep being so rude to strangers. It's just a dog.
All the grabbing and touching startles poor Biscotti. I will not apologise for caring about my boy. Oh, trust me. Your eyes say it all. Everyone wants to pet him.
Some of us don't.
Isn't he just? I'm so very glad they let animals in the camp. Means Biscotti can be kept away from that awful war.
Oh, yes. As long as the dog is okay, he's happy. Give me strength.
Here we are, Griselda. All in one.
Don't take that on yourself.
Hey,
We made it alive to Baldur's Gate. Almost, anyway. But I can't complain. When I look at Bex and realize she's safe, it's hard not to weep from joy.
Zoru, you made it here. What a sad situation. The once proud tieflings of Elturel, reduced to beggars.
We made it through hell, twice. I know now that as long as Danis and I stick together, we can do anything.
We should have an exile's feast to commemorate those we lost.
Washing my pits, this is the song when up. Aye! Could a bloke not get any bleeding privacy around here? Bunch of perverts, the lot of you.
Now, mind your tongues. Leave Christine to me.
they got me signed up to learn to make pots, which is dumb. You know who always smelled nice?
Glad at least one of us is doing well.
I'm really...
The fuck was that? An earthquake, perhaps. Strong enough to rouse the dead, too.
Even if we got Grunch into the city with us, do it. Oh, I think he can look out for himself once he's here.
If you're here to fill an empty stomach, look elsewhere. Folks swarmed what little was had, stuffing their pockets. Bloody animals.
wood from the cart too. Back off! I found these apples first.
We got here first, friend. You're...
That might be worth a look.
As long as we stand together, we can... Who will stand between them and the innocent?
If won't get us fed
If we do
and watered.
nothing, the innocent will suffer just the same. We have no good choices.
Our dead fought well. They died well. I hope I can live up to their example.
And let them marshal all their strength again.
You're talking to the wrong hunter. You need to see Ulma.
Rechtei hathran rust. Frey valdisk durovna. Frey vald iskablast.
You've clearly walked into some kind of ceremony, but it's nothing that you recognize.
Im orak. Nete. Krasin. Netra.
We would not normally tolerate outsiders at a time like this. The slayer of Ketheric Thorn? Well, these are strange times indeed. No? A pity. The head of the shadow-cursed warlord would have made a fine trophy. But perhaps I can interest you in claiming another prize. Baldur's Gate is haunted by many things, but one of its most insidious is the vampire Cazador. For years, his foul spawn have stolen away innocents at night, whisking them back to his palace. Recently, they struck our camp. They took our children, every last one, our whole future. They tore us to pieces. Vampire spawn and werewolves. I have never seen a vampire's lair so heavily guarded. What's left of my tribe is wounded and broken. We cannot stand against him to save our children. But perhaps the Slayer of Ketheric could. The main entrance is blockaded, but there is another way. Near the park, you will find a broken tower, mid-repair. Climb the scaffolding, and you can enter his palace. It may be watched, but you will not walk into the slaughter that we did. If you do this, our entire tribe will be in your debt. On our honor, it will be repaid. May the gods keep you, and damn your enemies.
Serpents must be exterminated. Nothing less will do.
And if our children still live, what will happen to them if we attack?
I share your fear, but we cannot build plans on fear. We will have to act for all our sakes.
They need to be wiped out. Exterminated. Nothing less will do.
And if we fail, who will stand between them and the innocent?
If we do nothing, the innocent will suffer just the same. We have no good choices.
Another quake. What's going on?
It's the Elder Brain. There's something happening to it.
There are so few of us left. Our strength was never numbers, but the bonds we share, and they are stronger than ever.
As long as we stand together, we can never...
Footprints. Leading right into that cave.
The boss is expecting you. Hasn't forgotten what you did for him at Moonrise.
You think I want my clan facing down one of those walking death machines with cutlery? Then leave me to my work. Only if you're quick. Now let me get back to it.
Refreshing your drink, perhaps?
I think it's been freshened enough times as it is. I can feel my face going flush.
And here was me, thinking you were blushing with happiness to be here with me.
Oh, I see. Compliments in return for the picnic, is it? Maybe I'll take that drink after all.
That might be worth a look.
Speaking of Greece, are there any sausage rolls left? Don't believe everything you read in the book. I'm ready.
I have a lot on my mind. And, well, in it.
Oh, this was a wonderful idea. Just what we needed.
I thought you might want to get your mind off things.
I wonder what's past this.
Ways and means.
Before you lies the unconscious body of a mind flayer, glistening and raw.
A newborn. Unattended. How fortunate. Oh, but it is. This one has only just transformed. It is weak, vulnerable. Its potential ripe for harvesting. Go on, kill it. Absorb its power. Just like you did before.
Come no closer, you. You. What are you? What am I sensing? You are like me. Like I was. A vessel yet to transform. Help me. I am so hungry. My vessel. He fought the transformation. He found it excoriating. I can still taste his terror. It is delicious, but will not sustain me. We need to feed. We need a brain fresh and frantic to restore our strength. sense you are underdeveloped. Bring me a brain and I will help you augment yourself. You would betray us? Then you shall be our very first meal.
The creature was born recently. Its mind is still fresh. You can absorb its potential if you consume it.
Assume nothing.
Speaking of Greece, are there any sausage rolls left?
Our strength was never numbers, but the bonds were sure, and they are stronger than ever.
As long as we stand together, we can never
Fine day for it, eh? Got to enjoy things while they last, I suppose.
Can I help you? This is a private picnic.
You think I want my clan facing down one of those walking death machines with cutlery? Then leave me to my work.
Good to see you. Wasn't sure you'd make it to the city. Regretting it yet? I spent a lot of time thinking of worst-case scenarios while I was locked in that cell you plucked me out of at Moonrise. I didn't imagine anything as bad as this. The Gondians have handed Enver Gortash the means to bring about the end of liberty in Baldur's Gate. And the citizens have rolled out the red carpet for the new tyrant. Resistance fighters are few and far between. My iron hands, what's left of the Harpers, and you, I hope. Good. We don't have a chance unless we stick together. Not while the Gondians' metal monsters are patrolling the streets. The Steel Watch, they're a threat to you, me, and every man, woman, and child in this city. They act all civilized, servants of the people, but they only serve one man. When he becomes Grand Duke, it will only get worse. Laws will change. Freedoms will vanish, and soon you'll be accused and sentenced before you've even committed a crime. And the fucking Gondians are to blame for all of it. They invented the Steel Watchers, and they're building an army of them. They've always been happy to provide their technology to despots in exchange for a stipend and the freedom to work in peace. They would have licked Saravok's boots, given the chance. And now they'll kiss Gortash's ring while this city screams. I had a plan to put a stop to them. But the way things are now, if we stick our heads above ground, the Watchers are on us like flies on shit. Same as it always is. Eliminate the threat. In this case, the foundry where these atrocities are produced. The Gondians are ingenious, but we're more than equal to them. There's nothing they can build that the Iron Hands can't tear down. I've built something unique for just that purpose. A room powder bomb. First of its kind. 50 wizards high on the weave couldn't summon this kind of firepower. Get the bomb inside the Gondian facility, and boom. Problem solved. The Gondians picked their side the minute they took orders from Gortash. If they had any courage, they'd have refused him and died like heroes, spitting in his face. Now they'll die like the dogs they are. There is no other way. But I believe in second chances. When you come crawling back here, and you will, we can talk. So, are you with me? Ready to take down the steel? Ha! I knew you were the practical sort. The foundry is in the lower city, down by the docks. Beautiful building, belching smoke into the sky day and night. Getting inside won't be easy, but when you do, place the bomb at the heart of the facility. Get yourself back to street level. The streets will be clear of watchers in no time.
Be cautious. Softer than a whisper. Locked. But there's no keyhole. Must be a switch or something nearby. Don't want to draw any attention.
You'll be getting a mouthful of sparks at this rate. Unless you've got any decent metal on you, I'm not interested.
crime's been committed, and this guard's decided to investigate. Investigate you, to be specific.
You'll walk free for now, but your stories won't land so well if you're caught again.
My faith will guide me.
Armor, blades, the Rivington Gem.
None shall see me.
Should last us the journey.
You work for the killers. Give them a piece of your mind and pieces of your body will be washing up in Grey Harbour tomorrow.
All right, what now?
Be most pleasing to sleep indoors for once.
Zog said to leave, so we're leaving. End of story.
And for what? You didn't even fight back.
I don't need any attention right now.
She'd want me to sell it if it helps me feed a friend. She was a better person than both of us.
Mind if I do?
That might be worth a look.
Folks work for the guild. We can get away with whatever they like.
People will help. You'll see.
If you're a customer, go down to the shop. Otherwise, clear off. Well, given this is in fact a blacksmith's, we sell things that need smithing. The shopkeeper can tell you more. Give the lazy sod something to do for once.
This calls for careful footwork.
What's next?
People will help. You'll see.
Mustn't let anyone see. Might as well help myself.
Armor, blades, the Rivington Gem.
find me.
My hand slipped.
Welcome to the Rivington General. Browse carefully. The weapons are sharp. Scale friend. Hi. Want a blade? Or a bow? Or a dagger? Or maybe a spear is more your thing? You look like you know how to use a spear. By spear. What'd you say? Huh? There's nothing menial about serving Gildor Angelion. He's a living legend. Do you know he's won Best Smith in Rivington 7 years in a row? And he says that if I move enough stock, I might even get to have a go on the anvil. Oh, yay! Want more? Want less? Wanna sell? Wanna buy? You know where I am. Bye! Back again. Want a dagger? Or a bow? Need more arrows? Need a spear? Yep, that's me. On the outside, but he's a softy at heart, like molten steel. Also, he's a living legend. Do you know he's won Best Smith in Riving? And he says that if I move enough stock, I might even get to have a go. Oh, yay! Want more? Want less?
What's that can happen if we get caught sneaking in? A few days in a jail cell? At least we'd have a bed.
Worst that can happen is one of those steel watchers stamping us into the dirt.
This is the first time in the last 10 days.
Oh,
Maybe it had
such a
something to
scaredy
do
cat.
with the army about to invade the city.
Don't believe everything you read in the broadsheets. That so-called army is probably no more than a pack of goblins and bugbears.
And for what? You didn't even fight back.
What's the worst that can happen if we get caught sneaking in? A few days in a jail cell? At least we'd have a bed.
Worst that can happen is one of those steel watchers stamping us into the dirt.
Oh,
You know,
you're such a scaredy cat.
an idea. I should go straight to the source.
Never thought I'd feel sorry for a flock of pigeons.
You want to let those thugs get away with
Those thugs works for the guild. Let them get away with whatever they like.
I wonder what the next move is.
There's more than one way to skin a treasure. We'll find a way.
Fate, dost thou require a new ally? The girl could not bear thou, a breaker of promises. I told her the fate of her parents when the wind carried it to me. She has left this place to hew a new path. She left you a letter. Thou couldst read it, or thou couldst not. Such is the way of autonomy. Hast thou other business?
What's the worst that can happen if we get caught sneaking in? A few days in a jail cell? At least we'd have a bed.
Worst that can happen is one of those steel watchers stamping us into the dirt.
And for
Oh,
you didn't even fight back.
you're such a scaredy cat.
I tried. Will help. We'll see. Actually, the pigeons do the delivering. Why don't you take your complaints to them?
You know, that's an excellent idea. I should go straight to the source.
Never thought
That was
I'd feel
before I
sorry
saw
for
the
a flock
giant
of
metal
pigeons.
monsters guarding the
Want to
checkpoint.
let those thugs get away with this?
What's the worst that can happen if we get caught sneaking?
Fate, dost thou require a new ally? As thou desire.
Steel watchers stamping us into the dirt.
Oh, you're such a scaredy cat.
It's a racket, is what it is.
They work for the guild. Give them a piece of your mind and pieces of your body will be washing up in Grey Harbour tomorrow.
What's the worst that can happen if we get caught sneaking in? A few days in a jail cell? At least we'd have a bed.
Worst that can happen is one of those steel
This
watchers
is the
stamping
third
us
time
into the
in the
dirt.
last 10 days.
Oh,
Maybe it has
You're such a
something to do
scaredy cat.
with the army about to invade the city.
Don't believe everything you read in the broadsheets. That so-called army is probably no more than a pack of
You
goblins
didn't even
and
fight
bugbears.
back.
I tried.
what's the worst that can happen if we get caught sneaking in? A few days in a jail cell? At least we'd have a bed.
Actually,
Worst
the pigeons
that
do
can
the
happen
delivery.
is one of those steel
Why don't you take
watchers
your complaints
stamping
to
us
them?
into the dirt.
Oh,
That's an
you're such a
excellent
scaredy
idea.
cat.
We should go straight to the source.
Never thought I'd feel sorry for a flock of pigeons.
That was before I saw the giant metal monsters guarding the checkpoint.
What's the worst that can happen if we get caught sneaking
I
in?
think that's what they
A few
call
days in a jail
monopoly.
cell? At least we'd have a bed.
Is what it is.
Worst that can happen is one of those steel watchers stamping us into the dirt.
Oh, you're such a scaredy cat.
This is the third time in the last 10 days.
Maybe it has something to do with the army about to invade the city.
Don't believe everything you read in the broadsheets.
What's the worst that can happen if we get caught sneaking in? A
A
few days in a jail cell? At least we'd have a bed.
Worst that can happen
I know.
is one of those steel watchers stamping us into the dirt.
Oh, you're such a scaredy cat.
You throw a fit when there's hot water.
You want to let those thugs get away with this?
It's run as prey, and the gods don't give a damn about us.
Actually, the pigeons do the delivering. Why don't you take your complaints to them?
You know, that's an excellent idea. We should go straight to the source.
Never thought I'd feel sorry for a
What's the
flock of
worst that can happen if we get caught sneaking in? A few days in a jail cell? At least we'd have a bed.
Worst that can happen is one of those steel watchers stamping us into the dirt.
Oh, you're such a scaredy cat.
The Absolute's army will be here any day now.
Stop
I
fretting.
think that's what they
The
call a
Steelwater will put a stop
monopoly.
to them. It's a racket,
Those
is what
machines
it
will
is.
form a circle round the upper city as soon as the fighting starts. Mark my words. We'll be on our own.
What's the worst that can happen if we get caught sneaking in. A few days in a jail cell. At least we'd have a bed.
Worst that can happen is one of those steel watchers stamping us into the dirt.
Oh,
This is the
You're
third
such a
time
scaredy
in
cat.
the last 10 days.
Maybe it has something to do with the army about to invade the city.
Don't believe everything you read in the broadsheets. That so-called army is probably no more than a pack of goblins and bugbears.
It's run or sit on my ass
You want
praying.
to let those thugs get away
And the
with
gods
this?
don't give a damn about
Those
us.
thugs works for the guild. They can get away with whatever they like.
what's the worst that can happen if we get caught sneaking in? A few days in a jail cell? At least we'd have a bed.
Worst that can happen is one of those steel watchers stamping us into the dirt.
Actually, the pigeons do the delivering. Why don't
Such
you
a
take your
scaredy
complaints
cat.
to them?
You know, that's an excellent idea. I should go straight to the source.
Never thought I'd feel sorry for a flock of pigeons.
The Absolute's army will be here any day now.
Stop fretting. The Steel Watch will put a stop to them.
Those machines will form a circle round the upper city as soon as the fighting starts.
What's the
Mark
worst that
my
can happen
words.
if we get caught sneaking in?
We'll be on our own.
A few days in a jail cell? At least we'd have a bed.
Worst
I
that
think
can
that's what
happen
they
is
call
one
a
of those steel
monopoly.
watchers stamping us
It's a
into the
racket,
dirt.
is what it is.
You didn't
You're
even
such a
fight
scaredy
back.
cat.
Tried.
The wilds. You throw a fit when there's no hot water. This is the third time in
It's
the last
run
10
or
days.
sit on my ass praying.
Maybe it has something to do
What's
with
the
the
worst
army
that can
about
happen
to
if we get
invade
caught
the city.
sneaking in?
Don't
A few
believe
days in a
everything
jail
you read
cell?
in the broadsheets.
At least we'd have a
That
bed.
so-called army is
Worst
probably no
that can
more than a
happen
pack
is
of
one of
goblins
those
and
steel
bugbears.
watchers stamping us into the dirt.
Oh, you're such a scaredy cat.
Mummy?
Work for the guild. Give them a piece of your mind. Actually, the pigeons do the delivering. Why don't you take your complaints to
That was
them?
before I saw the giant metal monsters guarding the
That's an excellent
checkpoint.
idea. I should
What's
go
the
straight
worst
to
that
the
can happen
source.
if we get caught sneaking in?
Never thought
A
I'd
few
feel
days in
sorry
a
for
jail
a flock
cell?
of pigeons.
At least we'd have a bed.
Worst that can happen is one of those steel watchers stamping us into the dirt.
Oh, you're such a scaredy cat.
And for what? You
I've
didn't
packed
even
bags
fight
for myself
back.
and the kids. Ready by the door. You should do the same.
I think that's what they call a monopoly.
It's
I
a
know,
racket, is
sweetie.
what it is.
But we'll be safe in the wilds. All right?
The wilds. You throw a fit when...
What's the worst that can happen if we get caught sneaking in? A few days in a jail
Run
cell?
or sit on my ass
At least
praying.
we'd have a bed.
And the gods
Worst
don't give
that
a
can
damn
happen
about
is
us.
one of those steel watchers stamping us into the dirt.
Let those thugs get away with this.
Those thugs works for the guild. They can get away with whatever they like.
What's the worst that can happen if we get caught sneaking in? A few days in a jail cell? At least
Worst
we'd have a
that
bed.
can happen is one of those steel watchers stamping us into the dirt.
Oh, you're such a scaredy cat.
Actually, the pigeons do the delivering. Why don't you take your complaints to them?
You know, that's an excellent idea. I should go straight to the source.
Never thought I'd feel sorry for a flock of pigeons.
I've packed bags for myself and the kids.
And
Ready
for
by the door.
what? You didn't
You
even
should do the
fight
same.
back.
But, Mummy,
tried.
I don't want to leave.
I know, sweetie. But we'll be safe in the wilds, all right?
The wilds? You throw a fit when there's no hot water.
Oh,
It's a racket.
you're such a
Run
scaredy
or
cat.
sit on my ass praying. And the gods don't give a damn about us.
This is the third time in the last 10 days.
Mummy?
Don't believe everything you read in the broadsheets. That so-called army is probably no more than a
Worst
pack of
that can
goblins
happen
and
is one of
bugbears.
those steel watchers stamping us into the dirt.
You know, that's an excellent idea. I should go straight to the source.
But, Mummy, I don't want to leave.
I tried. Oh, you're such a scaredy cat.
Wilds. You throw a fit for water. You are not...
It's run or sit on my ass praying. And the gods don't give a damn about us.
I think that's what they call a monopoly.
It's a racket, is what it is.
You want to let those thugs get away?
That was before I saw the giant metal monsters guarding the checkpoint.
What's the worst that can happen if we get caught sneaking in? A few days in a jail cell? At least we'd have a bed.
Worst that can happen is one of those steel watchers stamping us into the dirt.
This is the third time in the last 10 days. Don't believe everything you read in the broadsheets. That so-called army is probably no more than a pack of goblins and bugbears.
Oh, you're such a scaredy cat.
Actually, the pigeons do the delivering. Why don't you take your complaints to them?
You throw a fit when there's no That's an excellent idea. I should go straight to the source.
It's run or sit on my ass praying. And the gods don't give a damn about us.
You want to let those thugs get away with this?
Those folks work for the guild. They can get away with whatever they like.
Stop fretting. The Steel Watch will put a stop to them.
Those machines will form a circle round the upper city as soon as the fighting starts. Mark my words. We'll be on our own. Bastards.
Worst that can happen is one of those steel watchers stamping us into the dirt.
Oh, you're such a scaredy cat.
The wilds.
And for what? You didn't
throw a
even
fit
fight
when
back.
there's no hot water.
There's more than one way to skin a
Day out
Tresson.
there.
It's run or
We'll
sit on
find
my
a way
ass
into
praying.
the city.
And the gods don't give a damn about us.
Actually, the pigeons do the delivering.
What's the worst that can happen
Why
if we
don't you
get
take
caught
your
sneaking
complaints
in?
to them?
A few days in a jail cell?
That's
At
an
least we'd have a
excellent
bed.
idea. I should go straight to the source.
Worst that can happen is one of those steel
Never thought
watchers
I'd feel
stamping
sorry
us
for a
into the
flock of
dirt.
pigeons.
Oh, you're such a scaredy cat.
You want to let those thugs get away with this?
Those
There is
thugs
work
work
to
for the
do.
guild. They can get away with whatever they like.
Still alive, so that's progress.
Stop. It's a racket, is what it is. The Steel Watch will put a stop to them.
What's the worst that can happen
Those
if we get
machines
caught
will
sneaking
form a
in?
circle round the upper
A few
city
days in a...
as soon as...
Ever wanted to meet the most cowardly dragonborn in the realms? I fell for the blockhead.
Washing up in Grey Harbour tomorrow.
Bastards.
I'm not scared of the authorities. But it would be stupid to pick a fight with the fists. Right?
In the last 10 days.
Maybe it has something to do
Whatever
with
comes,
the army about to
I'm
invade
ready.
the city.
Don't believe everything you read in the broadsheet. We
Inside the city.
would never
Said you'd do whatever it
They
takes.
have nothing to do with this death.
What's the worst that can happen if we get caught sneaking in?
Gods don't give a
A
damn
few
about
days in a jail cell? At least we'd have a bed.
Worst that can happen is one of those steel watchers stamping us into the dirt.
Oh, you're such a scaredy cat.
Actually, the pigeons do the delivering. Why don't you take your complaints to them?
If you won't help us, at least let the children in. Excellent idea. We've had nothing but scraps for days.
Let those thugs get away with this.
Never thought I'd feel sorry for a flock of pigeons.
They can get away with whatever they like.
What's the worst that can happen if we get caught sneaking in? A few days in a jail cell? At least we'd have a bed.
Worst that can happen is one of those steel watchers stamping us into the dirt.
As soon as the fighting starts.
You're such a scaredy cat.
We'll be on our
I
own.
think that's what they call a monopoly.
It's a racket.
In
It's
the
what it
name
is.
of the crying
Give
one,
them a
have
piece of your mind
mercy.
and pieces of your body will be washing up in Grey Harbour tomorrow.
Bastards.
I have all the evidence I need.
We don't even have the nerve.
Details.
No.
What's the worst that can happen if we get caught sneaking in? A few days in a jail cell? At least we'd have a bed.
Worst that can happen is one of those steel watchers stamping us into the dirt.
Everything you read in the
Such a
broadsheet.
scaredy cat.
That so-called army is probably no more than a pack of goblins and bugbears.
I hear nothing more against Father Lorcan. I've nothing against Father Lorcan. He'll make to rest his soul. But his methods need to rest with him. We need change.
You want
What's
to
the
let
worst
those
that can
thugs
happen if we get caught sneaking in?
Pigeons do the
A few
delivering.
days in a jail cell?
Why don't you take your
At
complaints
least
to
we'd have a
them?
bed.
Worst that can happen is one of those steel watchers stamping us into the dirt.
Oh,
Never thought I'd feel
such a
sorry for a
scaredy
flock of
cat.
pigeons.
Those machines will form a circle round the upper city as soon as the fighting starts. Mark my words.
By allowing
We'll be on
his
our own.
faithful to suffer the most?
Give them a piece of your mind and pieces of your body will be washing up in Grey Harbour.
That was before I saw the giant metal monsters guarding the checkpoint.
Is what it is.
What's the worst that can happen if we get caught sneaking in? A few days in a jail cell? At least we'd have a bed.
Worst that can happen is one of those steel watchers stamping us into the dirt.
Oh, you're such a scaredy cat.
It's run or
Is
succumb
that
by ours prey.
blood?
And
No,
the gods don't give
never
a damn
mind.
about us.
And for what? You didn't even fight back.
I tried.
I'll hear nothing more against Father
We
Lorcan.
loved Father Lorcan as you
I've
did.
nothing against Father Lorcan. He'll make to rest his soul. But his methods need to rest with him. We need change.
Look, investigator. Brilgor might have been a criminal, but he was no murderer. You're missing something. You have to be.
Enough, Yanis. Listen to yourself. You are defending a man who ritually slaughtered your high priest. The evidence speaks for itself. Brilgor killed Father Lorcan, then, be it out of shame or profane duty, offed himself with the same blade. Case closed, Sister Yanis.
Shitey little elephant. Oh, I apologize, stranger. Language like that hardly befits a rector of Ilmater. Brilgor was a refugee. Well, I expect the Flaming Fists will ban refugee aid now one of them's blamed for murder. Feel free to look around the temple. But fair warning, Charetta's caress would be my best bet. That's her usual haunt after close. I really hope you find...
Need to rest with him. We need change.
Stop fretting. The steel we loved Father Lorcan as you did. We would never hurt him.
A new face. Something. Welcome to Sword Coast Couriers. To send and to serve. Delivery not guaranteed. Well, I'll tell. Become a postmaster, Danzo. It'll be easy. Nobody mentions having to spend your evenings hunting for... Well, if it's any letters you find, bring...
Page material.
Pigeons are very sensitive. They can't fly straight if they're disturbed.
Name and rank! Quickly now! There's a war on! The army? Pah! Those great clodding dirt snufflers! I am Commander Lightfeather, leader of the finest aerial communication regiment this side of the Triumpha. State your purpose, Groundwalker. I don't have all day. Oh, damned awful business. Fine flyers, a lot of them. Gone without a trace. Intelligence is in short supply, but we know our enemies flanked us on the west side, not one rooftop away. We're avoiding the whole area. I won't lose one more beak to the blighter. If you pass that way, beware the sign of the featherless wings. From that rooftop, none return.
I've no need of a wing man. Commander Lightfeather will give you your briefing.
That collar looks familiar. Something to do with Gale.
Here goes nothing.
Please, in the name of the crying one. Murder still unsolved. City watch under scrutiny.
Yeah.
You notice the Tressym guards a shiny ring and stack of letters at its feet.
Kitty? How vulgar. You can call me... Actually, it's better if you don't call me at all. That'll be all, thank you. That's for me to know, isn't it? Take it. Curse this bleeding heart of mine, but use it well, you hear? What of them? I don't dirty my paws for anything less than pheasant, I'll have you know. If it'll hasten your departure... I ate the pigeons. Are you satisfied? I prevaricated before. Pigeon is my second most favourite meat. Beholder. But it's exceedingly rare to come by. But let's not get bogged down in semantics. I believe you were just leaving, weren't you? Ta! In service of not having to make any further conversation with you, I concede. I'll be on my way then. There are a few places in the city I'd like to visit. I might have sussed some interesting items I'd rather like to get my paws upon. If I find anything interesting, I might even be willing to barter. Might. Ta-ra. Away. Yes?
What do we have here?
Your stealing has caught someone's attention. What will you do? You'll walk free for now, but your stories won't land so well if you're caught again. Your light fingers have attracted attention. It seems an explanation may be in order.
Just want a better look.
Something over there.
Very well.
My faith protects me.
No time to rest.
Is faithful to suffer the most?
the Duke's full support. For the good of the people.
You didn't even fight back. That was before I saw the giant metal monsters guarding the checkpoint.
What's the worst that can happen if we get caught sneaking in? A few days in a jail cell? At least we'd have a bed.
Worst that can happen is one of those steel watchers stamping us into the dirt.
You're such a scaredy cat.
Don't suppose you've, stumbled across those letters yet? You read it? Technically, that's interfering with someone else's property. I should report you to the nearest manip. Tell you what, give it here and we'll say no more about it. I'll give you a nice little bonus as well, a finder's fee. What do you say? Fine. Just give me the letter. Forget you saw anything. This never happened. Go on. Bugger off.
I heard he's a good man.
Let us talk to him. Please.
Great headline.
If you could just...
We have the Duke's full support. For the good of the people. Our.
Fascinating.
Won't help us, at least let the children in. They've had nothing but scraps for days.
Our readers will be outraged. This is front-page material. That'll make a great headline.
Citizens only. I won't say it again.
We won't clear from Arm. There's nowhere else to go. Please.
Orders are orders. We've got ours, you've got yours. I need you to step back.
There must be something outraged.
I said, step back!
This is front-page material.
Best get going.
Halt! By orders of Lord Gortash, refugees are no longer allowed in the city. Turn around. Then go.
Sir, we can't let you in.
This is front-page.
Halt! By orders of Lord Gortash, refugees are no longer allowed in the city. Turn around. Well, do you have the means to support yourself? Then you don't need to be in the city. Next!
Fascinating. Our readers will be outraged. The Duke. Ravengard, I think. I heard he's a good man. Front page material.
Let us talk to him. Please, if he could just... We have the Duke's full support. For the good of the people.
Great headline.
Our.
Fascinating.
We loved Father Morgan as you did. We would never hurt him. We had nothing to do with his death.
Our readers will be outraged. This is front page material.
Still means dead. Crime of
That will make a great headline.
Citizens only. I won't...
You're going to hire all the refugees. Just like that. Of course.
But I got his meaning.
Now it's good to be alive.
Sorry, you have redcaps working in your circus?
You'll have anything you want for supper. All the treats your tummy can handle.
Get your shinies and Tritos!
Drow's nose was my darling. He was simply in denial.
That's a friendly-looking shadow.
Every sale, Papa Seti. Seti. Papa sells good things.
Oh, darling, don't forget that Dragonborn's order. It's due shortly. You shall make him magnificent, my darling. I know it.
Oh, dribbles. My wife is heartbroken. Those two would chat from dawn until dusk. Such friends they were. But I'm sure a sizable contribution from an adventurer such as yourself would cheer her up.
I'm listening.
My wife shall be delighted. Customs are her favorite, particularly when their facial structure is as unique as yours. Oh, it's been an age since your last break, my darling.
Papa sells good things!
That drow's nose was as crooked as you carved, my darling. He was simply in delirium.
Come on, open up.
Alvin Muffle Fieldwick gave his fortune to the poor, died in the arms of friends. He will be missed.
This chest is deeper than it looks. A double bottom. Of course.
Wits and blades always sharp.
Let's move. Don't give me trouble now.
By allowing his faithful to suffer the most.
Fascinating.
eager for battle.
Our readers will be outraged. This front-page material. That'll make a great headline.
Still means death. Crime of passion.
Fascinating.
Conspiracy.
Our readers will be outraged.
But his methods need to rest with him. We need change.
This is front-page material.
We loved Father Logan as you did. We would never hurt him. We had nothing to do with his death.
No refugees. It is decreed. Well, do you have the means to support yourself? Right. Article 30.1.5 of the Council's decree on extraordinary wartime measures. I am confiscating that. The city thanks you for your contribution. Your name?
Well met, Citizen Fluffington.
Your parasite stirs. From the construct, you feel connection, resonance.
I am a Steel Watcher, Citizen. Here to serve the people of Baldurs Gate in the name of Lord Enver Gortash.
State your business. Uh-huh. Eyes open, body still.
Behind the Watcher's gaze, a presence awakens. You are seen. You are known. Your party's prior transgressions are reflected in its stare. As witnessed by the cult's ever-alert, scrying eyes. It has heard the howls of slaughtered goblins. It has seen the deep shadows of Grimforge, and the stone floors left bloodied. It knows the cold walls of Moonrise Towers, and the cultists who fell there. The Watcher speaks directly into your mind with a voice like poisoned honey.
You are marked for special treatment. Not simply an enemy of the people, but an enemy of the Absolute. Come quietly, or die. Please comply now, citizen. I will interpret any further hesitation as resistance.
Eat this, you pile of junk!
Villains, take heed.
God damn it all!
Recovery is
Find
imminent.
those little bastards, or I'll have your heads!
That'll make a great headline. Fascinating.
This unit is damaged.
We would never hurt him.
This unit is
It
damaged.
had nothing to do with his death. We swear it.
Our readers will be outraged.
City watch under scrutiny.
Why, hello, lover. That sounded more debonair in my head, I'll admit. Do you need something? Then that's where we need to go. My parents are in there somewhere.
This unit is damaged.
Just keep your hands to yourself. You're being watched.
Hey, you! I've got a pest problem, and you look like the solution.
Not everyone subscribes to what is mine is yours, it seems.
Bloody no. We need to find where they burrowed themselves up. You! You an adventurer? Looking to pad your purse? Find their foxhole. Bring me their chief's head. The fist will reward you well.
Look at you. You're exhausted. You've been pulling all-nighters to keep watch. I know you have.
I don't mind it. Honestly.
Well, I do. Which means we're getting a real room.
It will when you've met the...
I hate new boys. I don't understand why they're
Music and all-round pleasant folks, from what I...
Pleasure House? And if a decadent delight confuses me for a member of staff?
I'd probably break his nose. Good boy.
You'll change your mind once they kill innocent citizens. The only language they'll understand is that of intimidating violence.
Such a prude. You'd be better off sleeping in the gutter than that
Caress is a
delicacy.
professional.
We can get in Worm's Crossing.
You...
Come back soon. Fresh catch every day, guaranteed.
The drow.
Honestly.
Well, I do.
Well,
That means we're getting
Alright,
a real
catch of the day.
deep breath for me.
Bigger, smaller, in-betweener, I've got it all.
Certified, non magically altered produce.
There's food shortages. Trash
And if a patron confuses me for a member of staff, it'll make you feel better.
I'd probably break his nose.
15 loaves it is.
Such a prude.
Great.
Birthday boy's just
We
nervous,
can
but don't worry. Everyone at Charest is a professional.
We'd be better off sleeping in the gutter than that den of a nymph can get in Worm's Crossing. Do you not wish?
Doesn't make any sense.
It will when you've met the drought.
Father, give me strength.
Well, it is. Slow down, sweetie. Well, I do.
And
take
I
it deep. Means we're getting a real room. Yeah?
Forget your worries. Indulge yourself.
Decadent delights.
It's got private rooms, music.
Why, hello, lover. That sounded more debonair in my head, I'll admit. Do you need some?
Of course.
I thought you'd never ask.
Charest is a professional.
I put it on.
Now, that there's a face I'd remember if I'd seen it. Welcome to Charest's Caress. What can Hoots do for you, stranger? You got a taste for ale, I reckon? Or maybe... Ah, forget it. My new brew could drop you in the wink of a spectator's eye. Oh, you're one of those types. Rude as you are sneaky. My business is slinging tankards, not hoarding secrets. I'd like to keep it that way. But you poke some folk hard enough, they're bound to squeal. And Mamselle Elmira there looks about ready to burst. Don't know about that, chum. Hoots Hooch packs a stronger wallop than all 10 of my knuckles. Could beef you up, sharpen your tongue, or knock you out cold. No telling till the first drop hits your gullet. Damn! This one knows what they want. First one's on the house. So, don't come bawling to me if your big toes fall off or your tongue coils in a knot.
One chicken win.
We'd be better off sleeping in the gutter than that den of iniquity.
Nothing fishy but my voice. Get your safe food here.
It will when you've met the drought.
That shapeshifter's key unlocked the door. Interesting.
Brothel? Pleasure house? Den of decadent delights?
Let's get on with it.
At least things have stayed interesting.
Let's march!
A list of names. Father Lorgan's on here crossed off. The target list, perhaps.
What's inside?
Listen, it's got private rooms, music, and all-round pleasant folks, from what I've heard. I'd probably break his nose. Good point.
Blood near the bed.
You notice some blood has pooled on the wooden floor. You notice the blood's source. A body hidden under the bed.
What's this?
I know this key. It's identical to the one held by that corpse in the tunnels.
A long way to go still.
The corpse regards you lifelessly.
Landlord. Contraband storage. Murdered by my son. Found his secret. My sweet boy. Why? Killed folk slowly. He liked it. Dolor.
The spell's power wanes. You can ask no more questions.
What to do?
Good boy.
Birthday boy's just nervous, but don't worry. Everyone at Shures's caress is a professional.
Got private rooms, music, and all-round pleasant folks, from what I'd probably break his nose.
Such a prude. Birthday boy's just nervous, but don't worry. Everyone at Shures's caress is a professional.
What's next, I wonder?
Haven't we lingered long enough? We should return for the ceremony.
We have time. The runaway is still missing after all. Nothing happens until he's found.
Still breathing, despite everything.
One more mark, then we can go.
The Master said we have enough. The Black Mass is ready to begin.
It's not for the Master. It's for me. I want a beating heart there, ready for me when the Mass is complete. And we're finally granted our freedom. After 200 years of rats, I think we deserve a real drink.
There is no time. We are expected back at the palace.
Relax. The Black Mass won't start until Master drags Astarion from whatever hole he's hiding in. We have time to find one more person. Hello, beautiful. I didn't see you there.
We were just discussing, celebration being held in the palace of Cazador Zar.
You should come. It'll be the talk of Baldur's Gate. Oh, great. The palace looks out over the lower city. You won't be able to miss it.
Forgive us for not escorting you there, but my brother and I must attend to another matter first.
Yes, dear sister, I know we have places to be. We'll leave once our good friends here have departed. I look forward to seeing you at the palace, though. It'll be a once-in-a-lifetime experience. I promise.
Not yet, but to the final reckoning. One more thing before we begin, though.
For the first time since the Nautiloid, your mind is clear. It's unsettling.
Wouldn't that be exquisite? But no. I'm afraid the tadpole is still there. But I did shut out your other visitor for a while, so we can enjoy some privacy. The Illithid can't hear us. I brought you here because I'm true to my word. And I can make all of this tadpole business go away. Which means you and your lovely friends can remain blessedly free of tentacles. Let us speak plain. I'll admit, you've impressed me. I wasn't sure you'd make it this far. But no matter how far you come, you're still on the road to ruin. A road that leads directly to a confrontation with the Elder Brain. At best, it will kill you and everyone else in this city. At worst, it will assimilate you, and you won't have enough free will left to even wish you were dead. You have the key to destroying it in the palm of your hand, though. In a manner of speaking. But it's the one inside the prison that you need, not the illithid, the Gith. I can give you the means to break him free. I suppose you'd rather suck on the Emperor's tentacles till the end of your days? Orpheus is your only hope of surviving this horror show without devolving into an illithid. To you, he will be a friend. After all, you're at war with an elder brain. No. Orpheus is the only reason you're still alive. The Emperor is abusing the Gith for its own ends. And it's doing the same to you. You're nothing more than the beast of burden that will transport it to the Elder Brain. An ox requires food, and the occasional beating to keep it moving. You are simpler. The Emperor's words serve as both carrot and stick.
Perhaps it is true that Orpheus would ally with you against the Elder Brain. But if he proves uncooperative once free, you may have to kill him.
The Orphic Hammer. An artifact capable of shattering the chains that hold Prince Orpheus is held securely in my House of Hope, even now. Good and truth rarely go hand in hand, but in this case, they are happy bedfellows, and we can be too. I swear to you, I have the solution to your problem. Such an eager little pup. Surely you realize there is an exchange to be made. You scratch my back, I scratch your parasite. Power. You free Orpheus, and in doing so save the city, the Sword Coast, perhaps the whole world, and your own precious skin too. And you give me the crown that dominates the Elder Brain. Better to have it in my hands, and far from your precious world, than in the hands of the gods and monsters that fight over this city's soul. I have craved it ever since the arch-wizard Carsus created it, long centuries ago, and brought doom to the Empire of Netheril. That was the great age of humanity, and Netheril's flying sky cities were the apex of civilization. I was there the day it all fell apart. Entire cities plummeted from the sky like angels with broken wings. The screams, oh, the screams. Hundreds of thousands of people watching in horror as the ground came up to meet them. It was not a happy meeting. And Carsus was responsible. Not driven by malice, but by ambition. He forged a crown imbued with all the powers of magic. A crown that would make any who wore it a god. Men cannot contain so much power. The crown destroyed its creator, and his empire fell with him. Carsus's folly, the bards and scholars call it. I call it hope. The hope of creating a better world, and the perils of unchecked hubris. I knew then that the folly of mortals could be the triumph of devils, and that I could use that crown to unite the Nine under one Archdevil Supreme. Me. I am no mortal, and I do not fail. The archdevil Mephistopheles snatched up the crown and squirreled it away in one of his vaults. He is not more than a frigid archivist. So much power and potential kept inert. He made a miracle into a museum piece. I raged. But only for a decade or so. Then I waited, ever watching for more than 1,000 years, for a mistake, a mishap, a misadventure. And these chosen, who have caused you so much trouble accidentally, did me a favor. They brought the crown back into play. Yes, it does. Especially when I see what a bloody mess they've made of their whole scheme. They must have raided Mephistopheles' vault. Impressive, I must admit. But they'll be dead soon. If you don't kill them, the Elder Brain will. It doesn't have feelings in the way you'd understand them. But it seems rather angry. It is inevitable. When you destroy the brain, and you will because you must, the crown will be yours for the taking. And when that moment comes, you give the crown to me. In exchange, I give you the hammer now.
A simple transaction, it seems, but it's more than that. He's offering you an alternative to the mind flayer in your head. Take Raphael's deal and you could free Orpheus. With Orpheus free, you would have no need to rely on the Emperor. But there's no guarantee that Orpheus would be on your side. And if you take the deal, you'll have to fulfill it. You'll have to deliver the crown of Carsus to the devil himself. He claims his ambition is to unite the Hells, but can he be trusted to stop there? Do you trust him more than you trust the Emperor?
I won't stop you. But time is running out. So don't stay away for long. If you see reason, I'll be here, waiting. Right up to the moment the world ends.
Can't give up now.
There you are. I thought I'd lost you. Something was blocking me from hearing your thoughts. Raphael, Well, thank you for your honesty. Of course, I should have known the devil would come sniffing. The stench of impending chaos is irresistible to them. And what did he want with you? How very gumptious of him. What were the terms of this deal? Tell me, you turned him down. Good. I am glad. But be careful. The devil is like a cockroach. No matter what you do to it, it will always come back. I doubt this will be the last time you are approached. I trust that you will continue to remember who is really on your side. Without my protection, you cannot defeat the Elder Brain. You cannot even get close to it, no matter what the devil whispers in your ear.
The means to loosing the Prince of the Comet was within our grasp, and you refused it. Why? I wanted to follow the open valley, the easy way out. You chose the brambled path. I'm annoyed by it. And I admire you for it. We must speak with Voss. Then we find our way to Raphael's House of Hope. We'll take the Orphic Hammer and use it to smash the True Heir's bonds. Yisk Githkar Tafki Crashet. The Githyanki will be free.
Nothing fishy about my prices. Get your seafood here.
I love her so much. Brothel, pleasure house,
Slow down.
den
sweetie.
of decadent delights.
Take a deep breath for me. Yeah?
So loud.
To feel her fingers grip yours in pure ecstasy. Look at you. You're exhausted. You've been pulling all-nighters to keep watch. I know you have.